Hi, welcome back once again to Cbse Board Economics. I'm Saddam Hussain here. Today we're discussing the precautions you'd be taking while calculating national income by expenditure method. Mind it, precautions in all the methods remain the same, whether it's a product method or income method or expenditure method. Already we discussed why should we take the precautions, otherwise you may take some values which you are not supposed to take. Some values you should be taking maybe you overlook while calculating national income. For example, by mistake you may include scholarships, subsidies, unemployment allowance that they are not economic activities because no production has taken place. Keep that in mind. You may take illegal incomes, they are not generated. So that keep in mind. Precautions in all the three methods more or less remain the same. So expenditure method precautions. So just keep one thing in mind when you are writing the precautions of expenditure method, always start with the word expenditures. Always start with the word expenditures. See here, the first precaution, any expenditure on second-hand goods should not be taken because they are not a part of current year production. The same precaution we've seen in income method, any kind of incomes received by selling second-hand goods should not be taken. The reasoning I gave you was because they're not a part of the current year production, the value was accounted for or taken in the year they were manufactured. The same precaution we are writing here, any expenditures incurred on buying and selling of second-hand goods should not be taken because they're not a part of the current year production, the value was accounted for in the year they were manufactured. Same reasoning. The second thing, we discussed this, any expenditure on buying and selling of shares, bonds, securities should not be taken because they are mere financial transactions and no production is taking place. Only the ownership has changed. The same precaution we discussed in income method, money received by buying and selling shares, bonds, debentures, or we call them as securities should not be taken. So when you are writing here, expenditures on buying and selling of shares, bonds, debentures should not be taken because they are mere financial transactions. No extra production is taking place. The third one, in income method we discussed it, any incomes received through transfer payments or incomes like scholarships, unemployment allowance, subsidies, old age pensions should not be included because they are mere transfers and no production is taking place. So same we write it here, any expenditures on transfer payment should not be taken. I sum up all the three, any kind of expenditures on second-hand goods should not be taken because they are not a part of the current year production. Any kind of money expenditures on shares, bonds and debentures should not be taken because they are mere financial transactions and no production is taking place. And any kind of expenditures on transfer payments should not be taken. Any kind of expenditures on second-hand goods should not be taken. Now let's go here. You come to this, any expenditures on illegal activities. We discussed it in income method. Any incomes received through illegal means like smuggling, black marketing should not be taken because they are non-economic activities. Same way we write it, any expenditures on illegal activities should not be included. Of course, these three always include in all the three methods. Imputed rent should be taken. Why we take it? When you are staying in your own home, you are spending that rent. That means you are consuming it. You write it, imputed rent should be taken because the house is providing you rent whether you stay or you give it to someone else. Imputed rent should be taken and you write it as economic activity. Value of goods kept for self-consumption should be taken. So farmers, I told you, they produced 100 quintals of rice. Out of 100, they consumed 20 quintals. So we should take the whole 100 quintals. The farmer has consumed 20 quintals. That is his expenditure. So you write it as that's an economic activity. Value of goods kept for self-consumption should be taken in all the three methods: product, income, and expenditure. Own account production of fixed assets. I told you in all the three methods, So farmers produce their own house, farm implements, that should be taken. They are economic activities. Now to sum it up, all the precautions of expenditure method: number one, any kind of expenditure on second-hand goods should not be taken because they are not a part of the current year production. Number two, any kind of expenditures on transfer income should not be taken because no production has taken place. Number three, any kind of expenditures on buying shares, bonds, debentures, securities should not be taken because they are mere financial transactions. Number four, any kind of expenditures on illegal incomes, illegal activities like smuggling, that should not be taken because they are non-economic activities. And last three, we should be taken. Imputed rent should be taken, that's economic activity. And the next one is value of goods kept for self-consumption should be taken. And own account production of fixed assets should be taken while calculating national income. As I told you, in all the three methods, the precautions will remain the same. But when you are talking about income method, you write it incomes. When you're talking about expenditure method, you write it as expenditures. I'm sure you must have followed it. That's all we have time for today. It's goodbye from Saddam Hussein. Till we meet next time, take proper care and best of luck for your exams. Don't forget to share, subscribe. Bye-bye.